Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Our followers of Dhikr of Allah channel, welcome all of you. Today we will speak about how does a Sahir bring about a Jinn. There are various ways of bringing about a Jinn, all of which require the use of language in a polytheistic or atheistic way. I will discuss a method below, indicating briefly the type of polytheism or disbelief used each method. I am citing this method because some Muslims don't distinguish between the treatment of Sihr, Iman based on faith, while the latter is satanic. Generally, ordinary people tend to believe that when a Sahir, for example, utters atheistic words of Sihr and strongly maintains what he says by mixing it with some verses from the Quran, that the sufferer is actually being treated with the Quran. But this is not the case. If the sufferer believes that he is being treated with the Quran, he would usually submit himself to the Sahir, who would then be free to whatever who wishes with him. Therefore, the purpose of this method is to warn my Muslim brothers and sisters of the ways of evil, misguidedness, and also to expose the ways of these characters. The first method, al-qasam, swearing by and seeking refuge in the master of devils. The Sahir may enter a dark room, light a fire and smoke incense of a good or a bad odor according to the subject of the request. If, for instance, the Sahir intends to separate or stir up hatred and enmity between people, he will put a bad-smelling incense onto the fire. But if he wants to bring love between people or neutralize the Sihr of an impotent person or Sihr in general, he would put nice-smelling incense onto the fire. Afterwards, he may start reading his beginner spells using specific incantation. This would contain the Sahir's oath to the Jinn from their master and appealing to them using their master as an object of swearing, I by your master, etc. This method also includes other forms of polytheism, such as praising the senior Jinn and seeking refuge in him. In addition, the Sahir, may Allah's curse be upon him, is required to be in an impure state, either by being in a state of janaba, by wearing filthy clothes, etc. After reading the incantation, a phantom appears before him in the form a dog, a snake, etc. Then the Sahir would command it to do whatever he wishes. Sometimes nothing appears before the Sahirs, may put a knot around the dress of the targeted person, such as a lock of his hair, a sweaty pieces of his garments, etc. And then he would instruct the Jinn to obey whatever he should command. Comments on this method. This method shows that 1. The Jinn prefer dark rooms. 2. The Jinn are fed on incense, upon which the name of Allah is not pronounced. 3. The apparent and explicit act of polytheism in this method lies in swearing by and seeking refuge in the Jinn. 4. The Jinn prefer filth. Thus devils approach impure things. The second method, slaughtering. The Sahir brings a bird, a chicken, or an animal certain specification according to the Jinn's request. Usually, the animal is black, as the Jinn prefer black things. Afterwards, he slaughters the animals without insulating the slaughter with the name of Allah. Sometimes he may stain the sufferer with its blood, and sometimes he doesn't. Then he may throw the carcasses in a round side into a well or a in a desert place, which are usually the homes of Jinn, without mentioning the name of Allah. He then returns home, recites his incantation, and commands the Jinn to do what he wishes. Comments in this method. 2 acts of polytheism may be summarized in this method. 1. Presenting a sacrifice slaughtering to a Jinn is forbidden according to predecessor and successors among scholars because it is a sacrifice that isn't presented to Allah. Therefore, a Muslim person must not eat from such a sacrifice, let alone do it. Despite all that, the ignorant commit such act all the times. Therefore, a Muslim person must not eat from such a sacrifice, let alone do it despite all that. The ignorant commit such acts at all times and places. Yahya ibn Yahya reported, Wahb said to me, when Caleb acquired a spring, then in order to the Jinn shouldn't drain its water, he slaughtered an animal for the Jinn and invited people to eat from it. When Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri heard the news, he said that the Caleb's slaughter is unlawful and what the people ate was unlawful for them. The Prophet ﷺ forbid eating from an animal slaughter for the Jinn. It's reported as Sahih Muslim that Ali ibn Abi Talib said, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah curses he who slaughters a sacrifice to other than Allah. 2. The incantation which a Sahir uses in order to bring about the Jinn contain a language of explicit polytheism, as Ibn Taymiyyah pointed out in more than one instance in his works. The third method, as-sufliya, extreme sense of disbelief and paganism. This is a well-known method among the sorcerers who adopt it. Its practitioner has a large group of demons working for him, obeying his commands because compared to other sorcerers, his disbelief and paganism are the most extreme. May Allah's curse be upon them. This method may be summarized as follows. The Sahir wears the Quran on his feet like a pair of shoes and goes into the toilet to recite his incantation. He then leaves the toilet and goes into room, order the Jinn to do whatever he dictates. In response, the Jinn rush to execute his orders to his strong disbelief in Allah and his becoming satanic. In order to be classed as a Sufli, a Sahir is required to have committed serious sins, other than what was mentioned, such as incest, homosexuality, committing illegal sexual intercourse with a stranger, or ridiculing religion in order to please Satan. Here we've finished our video for today. If you like this video, don't forget to press like for this video and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.